I find it so
A relationship is a
hard
relationship that
when
has
I
to be
know in
earned.
my
All right, y'all. This video here
heart.
is about shadow work and digging deeper. Now, when we dig deeper into shadow work, we're talking about reaching our consciousness. In the video, a starting place for how to do shadow work, I also expressed that you need to be intentional by verbalizing and also just thinking in your mind what you want to do and where you want your thoughts to go. So I mentioned if you're interested in finding out about a memory that is kind of repressed, you don't really remember much about it, ideally, of course, you can go speak to someone who does. But if that's not possible, I said you're just going to sit at the gates of that thought and that idea and that situation, and you're going to manifest that it comes to you. Now, this is definitely on a thin line between confabulating what happened and really knowing what happened. So be aware of that. Well, what you want to do is you want to try to remember. And so that's all you're saying consciously and outwardly is I want to remember what happened, or I want to remember how I felt when da 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 da. That's it. And you sit and you wait. It is not something that's going to come to you immediately. It's going to come. It's going to come through messages, through signs. You're going to start seeing things, and then it's going to meet. Okay. Again, beware of confabulating any ideas around your shadow work, around your experiences and your memory. Now, how we can dig deeper. Shadow work can also be something you can look at about like what's a really good skill you have, right? Something you're really good at. These can be natural things, like maybe you know when someone's lying. Well, how do you know? Maybe you know when someone's crazy. Well, how do you know? And so Um, maybe you're really good with numbers. Well, how did you get that way? I don't know. Maybe you're really analytical and you're very observant. How did you get that way? Why? When did you have time to do that? And so, if we ask ourselves these questions, these things are like considered skills. They also can be protective. So, they can be protective skills that we obtain through some form of trauma. And so, these skills have a sense of a shadow side, but they serve as a benefit. And so that's something that can happen for sure. A lot of the times, though, our shadow side tends to be a little bit more in the not helpful zone than helpful. But some of our shadow is helpful to us and protective. In the protective sense, it's helpful. All right. Oh, me and my words. Now, the next is when we dig deeper into shadow work, we have the inability and the ability to accept who we are. Like that's what we need to do. One thing that I do is I make sure when I'm in like a dating situation, and I've said this in my transparent video about my inner child, um, essentially is, I'm going to ask someone, what's your flaw? And if you can't tell me one thing that is a flaw about yourself, then to me, you serve to be like inauthentic. Like you're not real with yourself. Like, no. So we have the inability and we have the ability to accept who we are. And the shadow work is that. It's that question. Okay. Now, you also are going to look for interconnections. Interconnections when we talk about shadow work. So that's kind of what I mean by if you're digging into a situation, you want to sit with it. You want to let it just simmer because things are going to be revealed about that story that comes from another situation, right? You're going to merge situations together to some degree because, again, there's a pattern. There's a habitual memory. There's a memory in the physical, right? These are emotional reactions. These are unpredictable. These are instinctive behaviors. These are instinctive, remarks. These are instinctive conduct. And so it's important. It's important because we need to be able to love without all of these shadows popping up. We need to be able to parent without all of these shadows popping up. We need to be able to work without all of these shadows popping up. And that I mean Now, you know, you want to think about these situations too, and be like, what was the energy like? Was it traumatizing? And how impactful was it for me? Don't be worried that other people experience the same thing as you, but do not feel the same as you. You are different, and that is it. Now, with that being said, you want to do exercises for the shadow too in your process of diving into shadow work. Now, what does that look like? That is saying maybe like, where's the resistance? Meaning, like, what is like a struggle for me? What is going on within my life that is like I'm always meeting a brick wall with? Okay. You also maybe want to journal your experiences. You want to observe your behavior. So start looking at yourself more. This is what I'm talking about when I say being intentional about trying to find the answers. Look at yourself. Listen to yourself. Be critical and of the people that you're currently around, the people that you give your energy to, the things that you're doing, the things that you're saying, how you do them, how long it takes you to do them, things like that, right? We want to also apply critical thinking to conduct. That's essentially what I'm saying. And you want to maybe ask those who are loved ones, who are authentic people, maybe how were you during that time? How were you when? How were you when you were a child? And they will start to also confirm and help you understand yourself a little bit more too. It has to be someone who's trusted and someone who would go deep in emotion, okay, with you. Okay. Sit with breath. That's so important. Like, I've been so tense while I've been doing these videos, and that's something that I need for myself. I am never relaxed. A little bit. Okay. It's a gift, y'all. It is a gift to do that. It really is. Because I'll be so tense. Like I say. Anyway, that's a whole nother video why I be so tense. So think and ask yourself questions is how we dig deeper. All right. Digging deeper into the conscious of shadow work. Now, the last little bit here when I talk about shadow work is you want to think about your family dynamics too, because we want to really, and I'm going to run through this. We want to think about our family dynamics because we want to know what happened to us. We want to know what we could do and what we couldn't have done, right? What couldn't we do then either? What was prohibited, right? What were our restrictions? What was available to us? Those are ways that we can dig deeper too when we talk about shadow work. Now, shadow work, it doesn't vibe with how we see ourselves, meaning it is the complete opposite of who you see yourself as today. It's our impulses, okay? We had to stop our impulses due to the collectivistic culture that we exist in America. Are you living a pattern? Are you reliving a pattern? Beware of confabulating. I said that as earlier in one of my videos about as you dig deeper, you're not making up a story. You're just sitting at the gates of the thought and the idea and the concept and that experience. That's all you're doing. You're waiting. You're waiting for the answer to come to you. You're not making it up. Others may see you in a state of contradiction sometimes. Okay, within you, actions and words may not always line up. That could be an indication of shadow work. And we're trying to determine why. We're trying to determine what. We're trying to determine when. When did this happen? You know? Not why did it happen to me, but we're more so interested in like what happened, right? And the why will come from how it happened. It won't be a matter of, it'll be like why it happened, not why it happened to me though. No, we're wanting to avoid victimization as well. And it will come up within shadow work. None of this is about blame at all. And families get really weary when we talk about like our past and like things that we felt and thought. bless their heart. That's all I gotta say. So this is, my notes to you about shadow work, and I hope that it helps you dive into it deeper. I want to continue this conversation with those who are truly interested. We can discuss it more. We can discuss it in detail. We can have a whole class about it. You just got to tell me what you're interested in, and I can make it work. Quite that simple. Now, like, you guys can be fueled to my fire always. Now, I hope that this helps. Again, this is Unto the Whirlwind. I'm Diana, and let us walk into greatness together. Explore shadow work with me. Coaching sessions are available in January 2020. We're doing big things. We're leveling up, and we're trying to loose all those insecurities, hand them over to the people who want them. No, just playing. All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky.